Your dog showed you a stress signal today. You probably smiled at it. Most people think a stressed dog looks obvious, shaking, cowering, whimpering. So when their dog is wagging its tail, they assume everything is fine. But stress in dogs is rarely loud. It hides inside behavior so ordinary that owners walk right past them every single day. Your dog has already shown you these signs. You just didn't know what you were looking at. Let's start with the one almost every owner has seen and completely misread. Sign 1, the yawn that has nothing to do with being tired. You're sitting on the couch. Maybe there's been some tension in the house. Maybe you had a stressful call an hour ago. Your dog walks over, looks at you, and yawns. Big, slow, jaw-stretching yawn. And you think, tired, bored. You didn't think twice. Norwegian dog trainer Turid Rugas spent years documenting calming signals, a vocabulary of physical gestures dogs use to manage tension. What Rugas found, and what researchers have confirmed, is that dogs yawn not from fatigue but from internal tension. A raised voice in the next room, a stranger standing too close. The atmosphere shifting in a way the dog can feel, but you haven't noticed. The yawn is a pressure valve. The dog is trying to bring itself down because something pushed it up. A 2014 study in Biology Letters found that dogs yawn more in response to human yawns than any other stimulus, and this cross-species contagion correlates with empathic attunement. The dogs most bonded to their owners were most likely to catch their yawns. The dog next to you on a stressful evening isn't bored, they're catching something from you. Responding to a frequency you didn't know you were broadcasting. That yawn was a sentence. You just didn't know the language. Sign 2, the shake-off after nothing happened. You didn't just bathe them. You weren't rough. You gave them a pat. They accepted it. You pulled your hand away and they shook, head to tail, full body, like they'd climbed out of a river. Most people laugh at this. It looks comedic. Veterinary behaviorists read it completely differently. The shake-off appears at a very specific moment. At the end of an interaction, the dog found emotionally loaded. A hug that went a second too long. A child leaning in from above. A moment of tension that then passed. The dog stayed. Didn't growl, didn't pull away. From every surface measure, the dog was fine. And then it shook. That movement is a discharge. The nervous system spiked briefly, and the shake-off moves that activation through and out. A dog who shakes off once after something intense is doing exactly what a healthy nervous system should, but a dog who shakes off repeatedly after ordinary moments, after routine touches, is a dog whose baseline has shifted. The threshold for too much has quietly dropped. That shift accumulates over months while looking from the outside fine. Sign 3, the expression you've been calling a funny face. There's a specific look that gets photographed constantly because it reads as goofy. The dog's head is slightly turned and you can see the whites of their eyes, a pale crescent at the edge of the iris. Animal behaviorists call this whale eye. It is one of the clearest distress signals in canine behavioral literature. It appears when a dog feels conflicted. They want to move away but feel they can't. A child leaning over them, someone reaching toward their face. The body stays, complies, tolerates, but the head turns and the whites appear because the eyes are still tracking the thing they're trying to look away from. Whale eye is a message. I am uncomfortable. I cannot move away. I'm hoping you will change something. The reason it keeps getting missed is that it photographs like personality. Quirky dog, side-eye king, gets captioned, shared, liked. The moment passes. The next time, the threshold is a little lower. Sign 4, the licking that isn't about whatever they're licking. If your dog licks the floor, the couch, their own legs, or the air in a slow rhythmic pattern that keeps recurring, most owners land on one of 3 explanations. Something smells interesting, boredom, or weird habit. All 3 are usually wrong. A 2012 study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior examined 19 dogs presenting with excessive licking of surfaces. In 14 of those 19 dogs, a gastrointestinal issue was found on examination. acid reflux, delayed gastric emptying, conditions that create low-grade chronic nausea. The licking isn't about the floor. The dog is producing saliva to neutralize something that doesn't feel right internally. But here is the layer most people never reach. Chronic psychological stress creates measurable changes in gastrointestinal function in dogs, just as it does in humans. A dog carrying elevated stress for months is more likely to develop the gastric irregularity that drives the licking. The behavior looks physical. The origin may be psychological. In many cases, it's both, sustaining each other in a loop that's nearly invisible because the dog seems otherwise fine. Owners who finally investigate say the same thing. I thought it was just a habit. It had been going on for over a year. And sign 7, the one almost nobody suspects, is the one most owners say changed everything when they finally understood it. Stay with me. Sign 5, not finishing the bowl. This one creates confusion because conventional advice runs opposite. Dog not eating means something is medically wrong. And yes, sudden appetite loss with other symptoms warrants an immediate vet visit. But there is a different category. The dog who is physically healthy, blood work clean, energy normal, and nevertheless eats inconsistently. Finishes the bowl some days, walks away from it on others with no pattern anyone can identify. In 2016, researchers at Nottingham Trent University developed a cognitive bias test for dogs. Dogs with a more negative emotional baseline were significantly more likely to approach ambiguous situations expecting nothing. They assumed the worst. The researchers called this pessimistic cognitive bias. Reduced food motivation was one of its most consistent markers. The dog isn't broken. Their emotional state has shifted to a place where rewards feel less rewarding. Where food, one of the clearest positive signals in a dog's day, just doesn't land the way it should. A dog leaving food in the bowl might be telling you something about how many bad days there have been lately. Sign 6, the alertness you've been calling smart. A lot of owners take real pride in this one, always watching, notices everything, so sharp, so alert. What you're looking for has a different quality. It's the dog who lies down and rises again 15 seconds later, who tracks every sound from 2 rooms away, every shift in the hallway, every car outside, not with the bright curiosity of a dog who finds the world interesting, but with something that never releases. They check the window, come back, check the door, come back, stand in the middle of the room, and then do it again. Veterinary behaviorists distinguish sharply between orientation and hypervigilance. Orientation is when something happens, the dog investigates and returns to baseline. Hypervigilance is when there is no baseline to return to. The dog isn't noticing things, it's scanning continuously for threats. A 2020 study in Scientific Reports measured cortisol and heart rate variability in calm versus hypervigilant dogs. The hypervigilant dogs showed elevated baseline cortisol and reduced heart rate variability, both markers of chronic stress. The dog that cannot settle isn't smarter. It's a dog whose nervous system has decided it is not yet safe to stop watching. If any of these signs just made you think of your dog, hit the like button right now. It actually turns into a little paw when you do. Sign 7, the following you've been calling love. This is the one most owners never suspect because it doesn't look like a stress behavior at all. It looks like the thing you love most about your dog. Your dog follows you everywhere, every room, bathroom, kitchen, hallway, back again. You move, they move, always within a few feet. Most owners feel this as devotion, and it may be, but in many dogs, it is also a symptom of what attachment researchers call anxious proximity seeking. In 2021, researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest studied hyper-attached dogs, not aggressive, not destructive. They didn't score differently on standard anxiety measures. They scored differently on physiological ones. Elevated cortisol, disrupted sleep, greater cardiovascular reactivity, and the single behavioral trait that most predicted that profile was following: constant, quiet, close following. The researchers used one simple test to find the line. The owner walks into another room and closes the door, not leaves the house, just the next room. Then someone watches the dog. Does the dog sniff around and lie down? Or does the dog go straight to the door and stay there? That's the line. And for a lot of people watching this, it's the first time they've thought to draw it. What the research keeps telling us. If you recognized 2 or 3 of those signs, your dog is not in crisis. It means your dog has been communicating in a language with no words and very little sound. And like most people, you didn't know you were supposed to be listening. A 2019 study at Linköping University measured long-term cortisol in 58 dog owner pairs. Levels were synchronized. Stressed owner, stressed dog. Calm owner, calm dog. The owner's cortisol predicted the dog's, not the reverse. Your dog has been absorbing your stress, carrying it quietly, showing you 7 signs that something needs to change without a single word. The intervention that matters most isn't a new toy. It is the 16 hours you are home. It is your nervous system when you walk into the room where your dog is waiting. What your body carries before you say anything. What your face communicates before you look down. Your dog has already read all of that every single day. The only question is whether you start reading them back before they quietly give up waiting for you to notice. Did you recognize your dog in any of these 7 signs? Tell me in the comments which one you had never heard of before. And if the last one made you rethink something, I want to hear about it. If you want to know why your dog sometimes won't leave your side and what science says they're actually detecting, that video is on screen right now. What they know about your body is not what you think.